What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to give my predictions, my analysis, my breakdown, if you will, of UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. This is a great fight night card. We got a great fight night card. I'm not in a rush to watch this. It's going to be a great card. I'm very excited. And I'm going to be giving you my predictions for this. I am obviously, of course, if you didn't know, the best predictor on YouTube. And before I get started, if there's any timestamps for a particular fight that you want to hear about, scroll down in the comments and then scroll the fuck back up. I'm not putting timestamps in the comments, guys. I don't know how to do it, so stop asking. Let's get into this, man. Starting off on the prelims, what do we got? I see Gaziev. I'm very excited to talk about him. We got Dumas versus Denis Tiuliulin. Now, this guy, Denis Tiuliulin, he's 10-9 in the US. He's 10-9. He's in the UFC. And he's not a WMMA fighter, and people are picking this guy to win. I'm going to be picking Dumas to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to be able to take down Denis Tiuliulin. I don't think Tiuliulin is taking his career very seriously. I think he's just trying to get a payday out of this stuff. He's, like I said, he's 10-9. He's taking short notice fights. I understand that he's losing to decent competition, but I just think Dumas is an active, real fighter trying to move up the rankings, trying to improve. Obviously, if this doesn't work out, he's going to go back to his career on Vine as Boonk in Boonk Gang. But until that happens, I think this guy's going to keep winning. And I think he's going to be able to out-grapple Denis Tiuliulin, get a decision win against him to open up the card here in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I'm going to pick Boonk Gang to win this one. Let's move on. We got fucking Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. Now, listen up, dude. Here's the thing about this matchup, you guys. I don't want to pick either of these two. I really don't want to pick either of these two because I'm going to be real with you, dog. You've got Herbert, who, a gust of wind and this guy's sleeping on the canvas. And you've got Rolando Bedoya, who literally only, his only redeeming quality is that he has a good chin and good cardio. He's built like a fucking, like a pudding, like a cup of pudding. And he's got the Diego Lopez light haircut. And he's coming down to lightweight from the welterweight division. So I think that Herbert, being a big lightweight who's stayed in this division for a long time, only really lost to decent competition, I guess. I don't know. He's just, I trust Herbert a little bit more, but even then, I really don't want to pick him. I'm going to say Herbert wins this one by decision just from striking at range, and I think he's going to be able to maybe stuff takedowns if that becomes a factor, but Rolando Bedoya just kind of walks forward and boxes with you a little bit. I wasn't really impressed by his performance against Song Kanan. So yeah, I'm probably going to pick Herbert here, but fuck, man, this is a disgraceful fight. I'm really not sure who to pick. It's disappointment either way, in my opinion, but I'm going to pick Herbert. Next fight, we got Victoria Dudakova versus Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is 8-6, so I'm going to not pick her in this fight. I know she's like an underrated. She's one of these hardcore. Dude, you don't know about Sam Hughes, dude. You know about fucking Sam Page, dude. She's actually pretty fucking good. I don't care, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm not picking her, dude. I am picking Victoria Dudakova to win this fight by decision. It's WMMA. It's probably going to go to a decision. That doesn't need to be said, but I'm gonna make sure you guys understand why. And I just think she's going to be able to strike at range. And I actually don't care about this matchup at all. I'm just picking a random woman. Dudakova is going to get a win. Let's move on. We got Kutateladze versus Jordan Vucenic. Now, Jordan Vucenic is a guy coming in on very short notice. Apparently, he usually fights at featherweight. He's a submission guy. He's got very good grappling. Not the most power in his hands, but decent striking. Very technical striker. Guram, of course, this guy's a fucking marauder. Went to war with Mateus the Goat Gamrot, so that's very high ranking for him. Was beating Elvis Brener, before he lost to him. No shame in losing to Elvis Brener. And, he lost to the GOAT Demiris Magulov. So he hasn't won a fight in about 3 years, which is a bit concerning. On the other hand, Vucenic's on a good win streak, submissions. He's coming in on a very quick turnaround, which could either end up really good for him or really bad for him. I'm just going to say, fuck it. I think Vucenic is going to win an upset here. I think sometimes these short notice guys that are good prospects that should be in the UFC, when they get their chance and it's kind of a bad matchup, they always seem to kind of thrive. Like, they always seem to come in and kind of surprise people. Like, I feel like the only outcomes of this fight, either we get a Benoit Saint Denis versus Zaleski dos Santos situation where Guram just beats the fuck out of this guy. Or we get like a Felipe Lima situation where Vucenic comes in and is seemingly fine from the quick turnaround and submits Guram Kutateladze late rounds. I'm going to say Jordan Vucenic wins this by submission in round 3. I think he's going to pull off the upset here. I don't know. I like the momentum. I feel like when guys get on the quick turnaround and the momentum streaks, they're actually usually pretty good. So I'm going to say Vucenic wins this by submission. He's the younger guy, hasn't really taken the damage that Guram has taken. I think that Alvarez-Brener fight may have affected his mentality a little bit. He's waited a long time to come back. I believe it's been like a full year, if not longer. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's 32. Been through a couple of wars lately. You know, hasn't won a fight for a while. Very close fights with everybody that he's fighting. And, you know, like his fights that aged well, it seems like, now aging badly. You know, like the Alvarez-Brener fight. We were like, oh, you know, Guram's a fucking marauder. You know what I mean? Alvarez-Brener's losing to Miktabek Orobai and stuff like that. And his best wins, like, Petruski, whoever the fuck that is. But yeah, I'm going to pick Vucenic by submission. I think Guram's a little bit overrated. And yeah, maybe an upset. Let's move on, boys. This is my main event. What time is this on? 2 a.m.? All right, I'm waking up to watch Shamil Gaziev at fucking 2 a.m., boys. I will be ordering fucking Uber Eats, DoorDash. I'm going to get some Taco Bell delivered, some KFC delivered. And I'm going to watch the Shamil Gaziev masterclass. Now, guys, you may not know this. Obviously, you know that I interviewed Chase Hooper. I actually interviewed Shamil Gaziev, and I asked him what he thought of this matchup, and he said, good fighter. Small heavyweight. My future victim. So I'm going to say Shamil Gaziev is very confident going into this matchup. All jokes aside, though, I think Shamil Gaziev is going to win by TKO. I think that in that Jairzinho Rozenstruik comedic masterclass of a fight that he put on, he did look goofy. He was smiling menacingly. He was running into the cage. But Rozenstruik is a top 10 heavyweight. He was one fight away from a title not that long ago when he was fighting Ngannou. And I think that Shamil Gaziev has shown that he has a good chin. He can actually push a pretty decent pace for a heavyweight. You know, most heavyweights, I'm not going to lie, I know he died of cardiac arrest in that fight. Most of those guys would have given up in round 3 or round 2. I'm not going to lie, dude. I think Shamil Gaziev doesn't even necessarily need to wrestle in this matchup. But if he does, I think Don'Tale Mayes is nowhere near as good or taking his career as seriously as Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I think if he takes down Don'Tale Mayes, he probably will finish him by submission. But I think he's honestly just going to walk him down and piece him the fuck up, just like he did to Martin Boudet, and probably finish him. End of round 1, maybe early round 2, he finishes Don'Tale Mayes. Maybe he either TKOs him at the end of round 1, or I can see in round 2, he just walks forward, pressures him again, takes him down, gets a submission. I'm going to say Shamil Gaziev will finish Don'Tale Mayes inside 2 rounds. And the title run will start back up, boys. People are laughing now. People are giggling. Oh, what an idiot. Oh, Shamil Gaziev. Just wait, guys. Just wait when Shamil Gaziev finishes Donatello Mayes, and then he finishes Taitu Ivasa, and then he finishes Sergey Pavlovich. Oh, we're not going to be laughing then, are we? No. All right, dude. Shamil Gaziev's coming for everybody. All right, dude. Especially if you have Uber Eats with you. He will definitely come for you, bro. That's how you summon him. Let's move on. Muhammad Yahya versus Kaiwei Fernandes. I don't give a fuck about this matchup, dude. I don't care, bro. One of these guys is like an industry plant from UAE Warriors. This guy's name is literally the UAE Warrior. That's like joining the UFC being named the Ultimate Fighter. Like, pick a new nickname. Get something else. I don't know if he's related to Ronnie Yahya or not, but Kaiwei Fernandes, I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I feel like I can be honest. I can be open with you guys. I've never seen this fucking guy fight in my entire life. I'm not going to lie to you. I consider myself a bit of a hardcore. I watch every card. I watch every prelim. I've never seen Kaiwei Fernandes fight in my fucking life. I'm going to say Muhammad Yahya wins a robbery decision. Fuck it. I'm going to say Yahya by robbery decision. I don't actually care. Let's move on. Alonzo Menifield versus Azamat Murzakanov. Now, Azamat Murzakanov actually gave up his career as a taxi driver to pursue his UFC career. And I think that this is going to pay off for him, dude. He's undefeated. He's 35 years old. Jesus Christ, get a fucking job, bro. I just don't think he's as chinny as Alonzo Menifield. I don't think he is as inconsistent as Alonzo Menifield. Menifield's either like shows up and he's actually a good prospect and he KOs somebody and you're like, oh fuck, he's actually good. Or he shows up and he just has no idea what to do. And I think against Azamat Murzakanov, first of all, he's at a disadvantage in terms of the region of the world that he's in. I think if this is a close decision, you're going to see Azamat Murzakanov get that W, 29-28. But I'm going to say Azamat Murzakanov gets a KO in this fight. I think this is kind of the decline of Alonso Menifield. I think his peak would have been if he had beaten... I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I think if he had definitively beaten Jimmy Crute in Australia back at UFC 284 and he had gone on a run, that would have been the time because he was a bit younger. But now he's 36. He's coming off a pretty bad loss to Carlos Olberg. And... yeah, I just think Azamat Murzakanov a little bit more consistent. I know what I'm going to get for him. I trust him a little bit more to pull this off than Alonso Menifield. Obviously, there's a chance that Menifield just shows up in perfect form, KOs this guy. There's nothing you cannot predict that. It's like the biggest coin flip ever. I'm just going to ride with what I think is probably going to happen, which is Azamat Murzakanov wins. He's just consistent, well-rounded, decent, big, fat, bold, light heavyweight. So I'm going to say he wins this fight. These are my picks for the prelims. I got Murzakanov, Yahya, I got Gaziev, confident Gaziev, lock of the card, Vucenic, Victoria, whatever her name is, Jai Herbert, and I got Boongang opening up the card. 2 a.m., that's great, man. Let's move on. 5 a.m., awesome. Starting off the card, we got Joel Alvarez versus Elves Brener. Now, Joel Alvarez, slight favorite. He's very tall, and that is a bit concerning at lightweight. Obviously, you know what happened to like Jalen Turner and James Vick. But I don't know, man. I think when I look at both of these guys, I'm seeing names that people hype up a lot. But when you look at their resume, you're kind of like, fuck. Like, where's that really big win or that crazy performance that really put them on the map, you know? Like, Elves Brener's best performance was Krachewski. The Guram fight, he was losing that fight before he got the finish. And I don't really see Joel Alvarez being the same kind of fighter as Guram in that sense. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded and a little bit more experienced against tough guys. Like he's fought Armin Sarukian and stuff like that. I think Joel Alvarez is a little bit better than Elves Brener everywhere. And I think that we saw, even if Elves Brener can hurt you early on, I don't know if he's able to capitalize on it as cleanly as we thought. I think if he hurts Joel Alvarez, I can see Alvarez finding a way back into the fight. Whereas there's other guys that I think don't know how to keep that window open, or how to shut the window, on Elves. I just think he's going to win a decision. 29-28. I have no idea what I'm yapping about. I just think he's going to win. I don't know. I just can't, like... Dude, the thing with Elves Brener is, like... I feel like he almost has to get his ass whooped to come back into a fight. And I just don't think that's a good way to sustainably go on a run. And this guy went on a split decision with fucking Zubaira Tukhugov. Zubaira Tukhugov, dude. Come on, man. I'm picking Elves Brener, dude. But I could weirdly see Elves Brener winning at a late TKO. But I'm going to pick Alvarez. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded. I like this submission game from him. I like his grappling. I think his size will play a factor in this matchup as well. We saw Orobai didn't necessarily have to use a lot of technique. He could just kind of manhandle Elves Brener. He's not the biggest lightweight. I could definitely see him moving down to featherweight at some point. I'm going to say Joel Alvarez wins this fight by decision. Mackenzie. I'm going to definitely be watching this shit at 5 a.m., bro. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to be taking a lot of screenshots during this matchup. I'm going to watch this in 0.25 speed just to make sure I don't miss any technique in the grappling by Mackenzie Dern versus Lupi Godinez. Godinez is on a good little win streak. She's very active. Not really fighting the best competition, though. She's just kind of like stacking up. You know, she's kind of stat padding, dude. You know, that's the best way to describe it. If you watch NBA, Lupi Godinez is like Devin Booker before the Suns was good. Like, she's just stat padding against fucking NPC women. I think Mackenzie Dern, her losses look bad, but she's fighting top contenders, like people that are fighting for the fucking belt. And I think that's pretty easy to start going, oh, Mackenzie Dern sucks. I think Mackenzie Dern is going to win a decision. I think she's bigger than Lupi Godinez. I think she is definitely, you know, the way that Lupi Godinez wins a lot of fight is by mixing up her grappling. I don't trust her as this insane striker where she's just going to piece up Mackenzie Dern. I think we saw Dern against Angela Hill, and I think Lupi Godinez is similar level to Angela Hill, maybe slightly better, but I wouldn't say she's like a, holy fuck, this chick's a future contender, this shit's a top champ, like top contender, future champion. I don't see Godinez in that way. I just see her as like a really active kind of win 2, lose 1, win 3, lose 2. Like, that's what I see from Godinez. I don't think Mackenzie Dern is like that. So I'm going to say Mackenzie Dern wins this one by decision. I think she's going to have a weirdly good performance. The jiggle physics is going to be going crazy. The CGI team over at the UFC is going to be putting on a masterclass in this fight. And yeah, I'm going to be watching this one very excitedly. I think Mackenzie Dern's going to win by decision. Let's move on. Holy fuck, dude. I'm praying for a double KO in this one. Listen, dude, now, I'm not the biggest Michael Chiesa fan. You guys know this. I'm not the biggest Tony Ferguson fan either. I'm not going to lie. I know that's a really unpopular opinion. I think that if Tony Ferguson wasn't so funny with his, like, to me, I don't think he's joking. I think people, like, are feeding this dude's delusions. I don't think he's joking. I think he's genuinely a bit of a crazy fucking bad person sometimes. The way that he talks about, like, slamming that student that he had and all this shit. I don't think Tony Ferguson is this wholesome grandpa that everybody should be rooting for. But regardless, you know, he's not the worst guy in the sport. You know, we got fucking John Jones rolling around. Regardless, I'm picking Michael Chiesa. Any technical shit you want to talk about in this? Oh, but I don't know, dude. Tony Ferguson has good Dars. Michael Chiesa. Listen, dude. Michael Chiesa, I think he's going to get Dars, dude. I think he's going to get Dars, man. Dude, he got Dars by Vicente Luque, bro. It's the same thing. We're not talking about Tony Ferguson anymore, man. It's 2024. We are talking about the disconnected Skate 3 AI. You know how your friend who fucking doesn't have an Xbox anymore because he got a job, you know how his AI still moves around in Skate 3 if you go on that shit? That is Tony Ferguson right now. His controller is disconnected. The AI has taken over his spot. You know when your boy leaves a game of 2K and the AI takes over as him? That's what Tony Ferguson is right now. He's a bot on easy difficulty. The controller's been disconnected. They turned down the sliders on Tony. Michael Chiesa is going to ragdoll him. Michael Chiesa is going to physically bully, ragdoll Tony Ferguson. Probably get a 30-27, maybe a 30-26. I think he's going to have some close submission attempts, but he'll probably be nice to Tony and he probably won't get like a brutal fucking Kimura. I could see him winning by that. I could also see like a fucking rear naked choke if he gets on the back. He's a big bully welterweight that only beats up fucking lightweights. And that is what Tony Ferguson is. He is a fucking lightweight who's in his 40s, who hasn't won a fight in years, who's taken so much damage, has so many injuries to all of his ligaments, has no idea what he's doing with his coaches. He's got fucking David. It's time to stand up, Tony. Get up, Tony. Carry the fucking boats, Tony. I heard he's going to have fucking Tony Robbins in his corner for this fight as well. So maybe Andrew Tate will pull up in the corner. Tony, you're a brokey. Tony, you need to be drinking sparkling water. You need to eat 3 red onions in the corner. What you doing? You're broke! So maybe that'll help him, but I'm going to pick Michael Chiesa by fucking decision, dude. Anyways, Marlon Cheeto Vera, your time has come, brother. There's no way out of this. I'm picking Figueiredo. I'm picking Deiveson Figueiredo because his chances of winning are not reliant on a fluke fucking KO. Now, listen, I know that I hate on Cheeto on this channel. I'm not actually hating on him too much in this video. I actually kind of think this is a good matchup for him. I think he can pull this off. I just think Deiveson Figueiredo is a better grappler. I've seen Cheeto Vera get taken down pretty easily by Sean O'Malley and fucking... Who else, dude? Not by Sean O'Malley, excuse me. Sean O'Malley pulled a guillotine on him. Again, still. Corey Sandhagen took him down pretty easily. Jose Aldo was able to take him down when he needed to. He's a pretty small bantamweight. I think Deiveson Figueiredo is going to have some success early on in the striking. Maybe Cheeto has a few moments looking for that knee up the middle, looking for an uppercut, looking for some front kicks. And then Deiveson Figueiredo is going to go, fuck this, take him down, control him, win a control time decision. Cheeto Vera will probably complain about it, or fans will cry robbery. I think Figueiredo is going to win a decision based on his grappling. I just think he's a little bit more focused, a little bit more clear on, all right, I need to do this to win this fight. And I feel like the fact that this guy's a former UFC champion who beat Pantoja and beat Moreno and destroyed Benavidez and all this shit kind of gets overlooked because he's not at flyweight anymore. He's seriously one of the best fighters in the UFC, in my opinion. And I think he's so well-rounded. He's so dangerous on the ground. He's such a good grappler. He does still have power at bantamweight. I think Figueiredo is too well-rounded. He's too good. And I think he's going to win a decision against Cheeto Vera. This is not a washed-up Figueiredo who's like a midget who, you know, is coming on off a couple of losses. That's not really what we're dealing with here with Figueiredo. And he's only really chinny at flyweight. And even then, not really. Like not really. Like, he's getting rocked, but he's not getting, like, fucking dropped badly like Dominic Cruz was in all his fights, or Frankie Edgar, right? We're not talking about the same thing here. So I think Figueiredo is going to win this fight by decision. Co-main event, we've got Shara Bullet turning around, making a quick turnaround from his appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine as one of the mutants in the background versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. I'm picking Bullet. I think Bullet's going to win by KO in round 1 or round 2. I do not think Mikhail Oleksiejczuk is very good. I think he's got good boxing. His biggest skill, like his biggest fucking attribute, he's got Hall of Fame, like, comeback victory equipped. Like, this guy's best skill is getting whooped, and then you get tired, and he turns it around. But how many times does this guy have to get finished and get fucking beat up by people before we stop being like, I don't know, dude, Michael Oleksiejczuk, he might be able to turn it around. He has good submissions. He has good boxing. I think Bullet's just going to hurt him in round 1 and probably finish him. Maybe a slightly early stoppage, but yeah, I think he's going to hurt him, put him against the fence, probably finish him with like a knee, like a jumping knee or a fucking right hand up against the fence after a knee to the body. I think Bullet's going to put a nasty combo on him against the fence, and he's going to get a highlight reel finish in this matchup. This is a really good matchup for Bullet, in my opinion, because I can't really remember the last time Oleksiejczuk shot a takedown or like tried to mix it up or do anything other than just kind of box and try and, you know, weather the early storm. And I don't think that's a good idea against a guy who's so quick and snappy and aggressive as Bullet. So yeah, I'm going to say Bullet wins this one by KO round 1. All right, boys. Main event, dude. Main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, shout out to Corey Sandhagen Enjoyer on Instagram. We've got a battle here of a Khabib game plan, you know, Team Khabib. Khabib's going to be in the corner versus the people going, Corey's just got to hit him with a flying knee, dude. Dude, Corey's going to hit a flying knee, bro. Corey by KO. I'm sorry, guys. This is not UFC 5. This is real life. I think Umar Nurmagomedov's going to win this fight by decision. I'm going to say 49-45 is the scorecard that we get. Maybe a 49-46 here and there. But I'm going to say Umar Nurmagomedov will have a 10-8 round in this fight. And I think he's going to just control Corey Sandhagen in the grappling. I think he's physically bigger and stronger. I think he's going to be able to go 5 rounds the way that he fights. If he's on top and he's in control, I think he's going to be fine going 5 rounds. It's not like this guy's a fucking Marab pace. He's not shooting a million takedowns. Usually, if he shoots a takedown, he's probably going to get it. He has very high takedown accuracy. I think it's in like the high 50s or 60s. I know it's against a certain level of competition, but you can still look at the way that he wrestles and the skills that he has, and you can see that this is a high level bantamweight. Like, this is a well-rounded bantamweight. He's a good mix of Islam and Khabib. I think he reminds me more of Khabib than Islam just because he relies on the wrestling a lot more. But his striking is not bad, too. That's the thing. People talk about this Almacan fight. He got hit with one right hand behind the ear, which will fuck up literally anybody on the roster. I don't know how to tell you this. I love seeing people say Umar's chinny because of that, when it has nothing to do with his chin at all. It's literally balanced completely. Like I don't know how to tell you if fucking Marvin Vettori got hit with that or fucking Cheeto Vera got hit with that. They would have also been partially rocked for a second. Like, I don't know how to tell you that, but now you know. And I think outside of that, you watch this guy fight, he's finishing Hani Barcelos with power, so he has enough power to kind of pose a threat to Corey. I think he has the wrestling and the dominance and the top control and the ground and pound to cause enough damage. That's why I think there'll be a 10-8 round in this fight somewhere. And as for Corey Sandhagen, he has good takedown defense, but he makes mistakes. Like, he does give up his back when instead of going for an underhook a lot of the time against the fence. He does focus heavily on getting straight back up, and that does lead to him giving up his back, right? He's not overly dominant in all of these fights that people point to as proof that he's going to completely he's going to beat Umar in the striking and the grappling and the wrestling. Like, the Rob Font fight is just a terrible, boring fight. Like, that's Rob Font we're talking about. Like, I don't know, I'm just not impressed by that. The Song Yadong fight. The guy's getting fucking, fainted and outstruck by Song Yadong, mixing in the wrestling as well. I know that he was a tough fight for Pyotr as well, but I just feel like when you look back at Corey Sandhagen's resume, he's like the perfect hardcore, like, dude, Corey Sandhagen's a fucking monster, man. But then when you watch these fights, they're a lot closer than people make them out. Especially the Cheeto Vera fight. Like, I think Sean O'Malley proved that he is actually genuinely levels above Cheeto Vera. I don't think Corey Sandhagen is as good as Sean O'Malley. And I think Sean O'Malley would be able to find a shot against Umar Nurmagomedov and maybe hurt him. But even then, I would be kind of on the fence about it. But Corey Sandhagen, I don't think he has the finishing power in his hands to hurt Umar Nurmagomedov. And I think if he fights as normal, he's going to have success with the calf kicks. He's going to be hard to reach. He's going to be feinting the knees. I don't think the flying knee is going to be overly successful. It might get him in trouble, if anything. And I think that's got to be something that they're game planning heavily around avoiding, is that flying knee, because it's such a famous move of Corey Sandhagen. Even though the only person that got finished with it was fucking midget Frankie Edgar. So let's keep that in mind here if you're going, oh, dude, Corey by flying knee. And all in all, I just think either we get Corey fights as normal, and he's not a KO power guy. He is physically able to be, kind of controlled and taken down. We've seen him in close submission attempts against really low, unranked guys. I know this early in his career, but still, Aljo got to his back pretty easily and smoked him. I know it's Aljo, but I think Nurmagomedov is a very good grappler as well. And it's either that, or he changes his style to try and counteract Nurmagomedov's game. Because all I'm hearing from Corey Sandhagen is he wants to be the one that shuts down the Dagestani style. Oh, Umar's a great wrestler. He's a Dagestani. I want to prove that I can shut down the style. I can honestly see, this is my final prediction. Umar by decision, 49-46, based on the wrestling, based on elbows in the ground, based on, getting to the back, maybe some submission attempts here and there. I can see Corey getting outstruck at points in this fight. I think Umar is going to have such a high level of threat of the takedown and mixing things up, and his kicks are actually pretty good. And his boxing is kind of, it's kind of shit, but he's the type of fighter that he's almost so shit that it can kind of confuse you. I think Umar's going to have moments of outstriking Corey Sandhagen in this fight. And I think he's going to take him down. I think he's going to get control of him. I think he's going to have some nasty elbows. I do believe, this is what I'll say finally, bro. We will see a visual at the end of this fight of Corey Sandhagen, like, covered in blood. I feel like that's a guaranteed lock that's going on the bingo card. But yeah, final prediction, Umar Nurmagomedov, 49-45. And yeah, I'm pretty confident that he wins this fight. I like Corey Sandhagen. This is not me hating on Corey Sandhagen. I feel like the people saying this is Whitaker versus Ikram 2.0 are just fucking... We're 30 minutes in the video, I could probably say. The people that are saying that are retarded. Like, it's just a dumb take. It's a completely different matchup. Umar Nurmagomedov's the real deal. And I think he's going to prove that on Saturday. But let me know your predictions in the comments down below. If you guys are enjoying the longer videos, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for 41,000. I really appreciate that. That's fucking insane to me. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.